Alright, so I wasn't going to show myself for this video, but it just kind of hit me that I needed to, okay? So I went last night and I watched with my brother. I don't think he's real big into Ghostbusters like I am, but we went and watched it. He says he enjoyed it, so I'm going to take his word for it. But we went to AMC theaters last night in Humble, Texas, or Humble. I've always said Humble, but it's Humble. Humble, Texas. Which isn't so humble anymore. It was called Humble because it was a very small place when I was younger. Humble was very humble. It was a very small town, and it's not humble anymore. It's still got that name, but it's not humble anymore. It's overwhelmingly huge. There's a lot there. There's a lot of businesses, a lot of rich neighborhoods surrounding Humble. And yeah, but we went to the Deerbrook Mall AMC theater, Deerbrook 24, I think. And we watched Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. A reason I'm holding this right here is because I wanted to just be able to prove that, oh, hey, yeah, I went and seen it. Here's the pen they gave me, which I haven't opened. I will proceed to open it now. I wonder if my brother's got one. We grabbed two of them. I don't know if he kept it. I don't know if he cared. If he doesn't care about it, I'll take it. I'll find a use for it. So here we go. Opening the package. I thought I would go. I hate when these things don't do right. Opening the package. What do we have here? Ah! I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed. Why? Because I wanted the Ghostbusters symbol. But this is cute too. I like this. It's cool. If you've seen the movie, there's like these beginning credits before the long credits, and something happens. I won't say it, and I'll go into the actual review in a minute, but I got the little mini puff. I like these guys. I don't know why I like them so much, but they're cute. So that's cool. I really, really didn't want a mini puff though. I wanted the actual like Ghostbusters logo pin if they have those. I don't even know if they have those. Or Slimer. I would have loved Slimer, but they didn't have those. How does this work? How in the world does this work? Do you just kind of come off the back? How's this work? Do you... Oh, you gotta hold on to that. Don't want to get rid of that. All right, so I think the way this works is you... Ooh, I hate pins like this. I really hate when pins are made like this. So find that hole. There we go. Stick it in through to the plastic, and there we go. It's not the proper kind of pin, in my opinion. A proper pin doesn't work this way. A proper pin has a thing in the back you clip. But this is cool. There we go. Little mini puff. I wonder if it's random. I wonder if what you get is random. But there we go. My little mini puff. He's cute. It's cute. Mini puff. All right, so now I'm going to talk about the actual movie a bit. I'm going to try not to spoil something, uh, but I'm going to try not to spoil anything, but there's going to be a little spoilers. Um, so let me gather my thoughts here. I've had all night to think about this off and on. So I loved it. Of course, I loved it. I think a lot of people will love it. Anyone in their right mind will love it. I can't complain about it. I think I do have one minor complaint. One minor complaint. And this is something that I think they did with the last movie, Ghostbusters. Oh boy, Ghostbusters. What was it? Give me a chance to think here. Uh, uh, uh Afterlife. My brain is not working. Ghostbusters Afterlife. This is something they did in Ghostbusters Afterlife, and they did it again here. I didn't like it. I don't like that they did it. I really wish listen here, Jason and Kenan. I hope I got that right. Uh Listen very carefully. The Ghostbusters theme should be at the beginning of the movie when the logo shows up. Don't play this other stuff. Okay? I'm just saying. So yeah, that was my only complaint. The beginning, they had the old animated logo, which I loved. The logo where it comes in, the ghost comes in, and then it animates, and it crosses through, and then it shrinks in, and it says, then it has the subtitle below it, which is cool, and then it just kind of dissipates. And but I love all that, but it's just they didn't use that music. It's like, where's the Ghostbusters music? You need the Ghostbusters music at the beginning of the movie. It has to go along with that animated sequence. I feel like that was a huge mistake. They do play the song at the end of the movie, just like the end of the last movie. Afterlife, at the end of Afterlife, and at the end of Frozen Empire. They do it again. A lot of people keep saying that it's a lot like the real Ghostbusters. It is. Oh my God. There, little spoiler. There's some jokes at the beginning where they're talking, where there's this banter going on with the family as they're chasing down that ghost that we see in the trailer. The long, the long serpent looking thing. And the banter is, we're not getting paid for this. Who's getting paid for this? Are you getting paid this? No one's paying for this. We're getting paid, and I can't remember what he said in memories or something like that. I can't remember. And I thought that was dead on real Ghostbusters kind of banter, because there were episodes of the real Ghostbusters where they would sit there and if they weren't getting paid and they especially when Ray was the one sort of wanting to go after this ghost, right? And Ray was excited, let's catch it. The thrill of the hunt, right? In the real Ghostbusters. Well, this was kind of that. I don't know whose idea it was to chase down this ghost, but they just went after it. The whole moment was hilarious to me. I thought it was hilarious. Um, I don't want to give too much out. Some other stuff was said during that sequence when they're chasing down the ghost, but it was good. Walter Peck as the mayor. That's a pretty big spoiler there. That I think everybody realizes by now that he's the mayor. And I heard that there was no confrontation between him and Venkman. Yes, there is. I won't say when in the movie that there's confrontation, but Peter has some stuff to say to Peck. He does. And then he pulls a fast one, and I won't say what happens. Peter pulls a fast one with some wordplay and some stuff happens at the towards the end of the movie, a little discussion of sorts, and basically gets everybody on their side. Everybody's already on the Ghostbusters side. Like the whole city's frozen over. There's people dying. It's like, of course, this is horrible. This is dreadful. All of a sudden, we see some shit go down at the Ghostbusters headquarters, and then after the shit goes down at the Ghostbusters headquarters, everything gets better. Of course, you're going to put anybody is smart enough nowadays to put two and two together and go, they fixed it. Anybody with half a brain would be like, "Oh yeah, the Ghostbusters took care of that." I mean, you saw what was going on there, and now it's over. I won't. I don't want to say how they captured the big bad. They do capture him. Uh, the way they take care of him is it's a little quick and dirty, but it was pretty clever at the same time. It was very real Ghostbusters. Just the way they took care of him was very real Ghostbusters esque. Um, that's all I can say. They capture him. Won't say how. Exactly. There's, oh my God, what is his name? I can't remember his name. He's a comedian. He's an Indian comedian. He's a comedian from India. Very funny dude. At one point he has there's this little back and forth between Venkman and his character, right? Bill Murray's character, Peter Venkman, and Nand, I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. What is his name? I'm not good with Indian names. Forgive me. I can't memorize Indian names very well. I can memorize, I'm not being racist, I just can't remember those names. I can remember Tom and Mark and Bill and Joe and like that, but I can't remember a lot of names that aren't like English. So forgive me, I can't remember his name. You all know who I'm talking about. He was in the advertisement. That dude is hilarious. Throughout this movie, it's hilarious. Patton Oswalt is there, but only for a small portion of the movie, and he was just there to kind of help things along. He was a plot device of sorts, and we get a bit of an explanation as to what's going on with through him. Um, Peck is still being the same dickless SOB as he's always been. He's a jerk. He is an absolute jerk. I feel really bad for Phoebe. I do. I feel very bad for Phoebe. I won't say why, but she goes through some shit in this. Um, I can't say. I really don't want to spoil it. I spoiled a little bit, but it's worth going to see. I think another valid criticism this movie gets is pacing issues, but the last movie had pacing issues. But the pacing issues the last movie had was about getting to the action, getting to the ghost busting. Because the last movie was more about getting back to that. Like they're slowly working back into that. All right. This movie at the beginning, they're right back into it. Like the action starts off. We see them chasing a ghost down. It's in the advertisements. I'm not spoiling anything. We see them chasing him down. Just a lot of action right off the gate. That's what people had a complaint about as far as pacing goes, was just getting to the action, seeing them bust a ghost. And they busted a few ghosts and it was great. It was great. The moments between Trevor Spangler and Slimer were just they were kind of adorable, honestly. And Slimer is a little he's kind of adorable. He's kind of adorable in this. He's hanging around the firehouse. He's been hanging around the firehouse. I almost said department. He's hanging around the firehouse. I'm guessing since Ghostbusters 2. He's just still there. He's still there. He goes out. He hunts for food. He sleeps. It's like I said. It's in some of the advertisements. I'm not spoiling anything. He sleeps in a big pile of trash in the attic, and he just eats shit. And it's really fun. It's like a subplot thing going on that kind of leads into the main plot at one point. I won't spoil it, but Slimer kind of sort of saves the day a little bit at one point. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it, but he does kind of save the day a little bit at one point. He kind of comes in and helps. Not I can't remember the dude's name, the Indian dude. He has a fun role in this. Like he's the Lewis Tully of this movie. Like he ties into things a bit. Or maybe Dana Barrett. He's a little more like Dana Barrett. Yeah. I would say he's like Dana Barrett. What's going on revolves around him to an extent. And what happens with him, and I won't say what. I really don't want to spoil anything. I've probably spoiled a little bit as it is. But what happens with him is just I loved it. I was like, it was funny. I loved it. Some of the weird, awkward humor that happened just kind of fit. It worked. I mean, that's the kind of humor the Ghostbusters movie is known for. It's banter between the cast, and it's just little awkward moments. That's what's funny. And it was one of my complaints about Answer the Call. Ghostbusters, the reboot, Answer the Call. The humor was wrong. It was the wrong kind of humor. What were they doing? They were all basically trying to be Venkman. That was number one. I hated that. They were all trying to do funny. They were too in on it. Like they were in on the joke. And that's what I love about this movie. It doesn't feel like they're in on it. Like they're not the characters aren't self-aware, right? Like it's just a serious thing that they're just doing and they're happy to do as a family, you know? And I love that. That is just great. This is going to be a long review. This is not going to be quick. Um Yeah, the whole way this plays out is just I really liked it a lot. I really hope for the next movie, but again, Can we please get the Ghostbusters theme at the beginning of the movie, please? At the beginning. I love that theme, but you got to have it at the beginning of the movie. It isn't the same. If you're going to animate the logo like that and everything at the beginning of the movie, put the music in there, please. Just for a short moment. I don't know. I don't know. The whole story of this is really cool. We find out a lot more about what Winston's been up to. He's a big philanthropist. He's got money. He's got money to burn. He made an empire. Janine is there. She has some things to say. She's sassy. We love sassy Janine. Sassy Janine is wonderful. We love her. We love her. The thing between her and Venkman, yeah, I don't know. I just I don't know what else to say really. This is a great movie. You have to go see it. 9 out of 10. I say 9 out of 10 because I'm irked about the music being at the end and not and not at the beginning. Like that music's got to be there at the beginning. You have to have the music at the beginning. There's no remixed music. I mean, there is, but there isn't. There's like variations of the original Ghostbusters 1 music. Yeah, they did that some more. There's some of the actual music from Ghostbusters 1, the first Ghostbusters movie, and it's kind of mixed in. I don't know how else to put it. Uh, it's great. I love how they did with the music. Would I have liked to have heard some other things? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I still want the real Ghostbusters to come back. Everybody's aware of X-Men 97, right? It's like they just picked back up where they left off and they kept going, right? I want that with the real Ghostbusters. We don't need to mirror the movie. Like people have been suggesting Egon be dead in the real Ghostbusters. Like, no, it's a different universe. That Egon's still alive. Okay, it's a different Egon, different voice actor, everything, blonde hair, different Egon, very different Egon. Don't just kill him off just because he's gone. Don't make him dead because he's dead in the movies. That makes no sense. All right. I would like to just literally see the real Ghostbusters just pick back up where it left off, I guess. Actually, let's ignore the maybe the third and fourth or fifth season, I guess. I can't remember when they started making changes. Before they before the studio interferences or the network interferences, basically. I would like to see the series just kind of go back, pick back up, throw in some music from that duet Tahiti. Just throw that back in there. Just throw. Why is my eye bugging me? Just throw that back in there. Throw it back in there, and just go with it. Bring back the same kind of music that was in it. Everything. Just pick it up where it left off. Call it the real Ghostbusters 80. I can't remember. 88 or 87 or whatever. You know, whatever you got to call it. Just take it back, just go back with it and continue onward. Just do that. How is that so hard? Just do that. I know that's not part of this review, but this is great. This is a great movie. I can't understand the hate that it's getting from critics. Um they're morons. Okay? There's a lot of them that are armchair protesters. Do you know what an armchair protester is? Let me explain what an armchair protester is. These guys are basically part of the far left, the extreme left. They're still sour that Ghostbusters answer or not, yeah, answer the call. They're still sour that answer the call didn't, bring in the audience. Nobody has an issue with female Ghostbusters. There's like three of them in this, and they're all great. Phoebe, we have Phoebe. They I don't want to say what happens with her, but it's kind of sad. But it gets better. Anyhow, Phoebe's mom, and Janine puts on a uniform and starts doing stuff. It's great. I can't, I don't know. I, nobody has an issue with females. We have an issue with continuity and good writing, good humor, things that are actually funny. By the way, Jason Reitman, uh, and Gil Kinnan. Uh, I have a suggestion. Bring in the fellow who was writing episodes of the Real Ghostbusters. for the next movie. I can't remember his name. Straczynski or whatever. Bring in some writers from the real Ghostbusters to help write this, to write the next movie. You don't have to do it all on your own. You don't have to be the sole writer. You can bring them in and have some ideas. But yeah, I don't want to drag this video on too long. My bottom takeaway is that it's good. It's way better than Answer the Call. It's way better than Answer the Call. People like continuity, like it or not. We like a continuation. We like lore building. We like world building. We don't want to see everything just thrown out because somebody's creatively bankrupt and just starting over. That's reboots and remakes are a bad idea. The Afterlife, look at it like this: Afterlife and Frozen Empire are basically Ghostbusters 2 and or not Ghostbusters 2, Ghostbusters 3 and Ghostbusters 4. They're basically 3 and 4. They're part of the main continuity. All right. We had Ghostbusters, we had Ghostbusters 2. Skip forward several, like 30 something years. Ghostbusters Afterlife, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Answer the Call is a different universe, different continuity. It rebooted things annoyingly so. Like, why would you reboot things like that? I don't know. It's good. That's my bottom line. Go see this movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a fun movie. Why don't we just get fun movies? Well written, fun movies. That's my problem. We don't get that anymore. We always get some sort of or ulterior motive, some political BS, so on and so forth. We never really get what we should be getting, you know? Anyhow, this has been The Goof. Please go see this movie. We're not going to get more if it doesn't make enough money. Go see this movie, please. Go see it. Go see it. Great movie. Great movie. Go see it. This has been The Goof. I'm out.